Numero uni al mondo.
That's Italian for my diarrhea is getting out of hand. May I please use your bathroom? Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 190 of the Alter Ego Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Mr. Ryan.
What's up?
How's it doing, my friend?
I'm doing good.
You were only 5 minutes late, which technically means you were 20 minutes early.
I was pretty much on time.
I will give you some more dabs for that.
Mr. Rhino, how is the Great White North today, sir?
What the biz is he a shoddy?
Good question from the K-pop Elvis.
Is it still white up there?
No, it was 70 degrees today.
Intermaniac, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing amazing. This is the only sports thing I'll talk about. Forza Inter, what a game today. What a game today. Forza ragazzi.
What does ragazzi mean?
Like, go guys. Like, you know, I'm saying good job, guys. You know what I'm
Why
saying?
didn't you just say good job, guys?
Well, I wanted to, you know, it was all in Italian. It was like, you know what I'm saying?
Go sports!
That's it. That's all I wanted
From
to
the
say.
guy wearing a Cubs hat, of course.
Yeah, I know,
you're a big
right? Hater.
sports fan.
Well, they're not going to know that on the podcast.
That's true, except for on the video that they watch.
Go Cubs, go.
From the no longer Titans fan in the room, he now is an avid Buccaneers fan. We've talked about this at length.
What are you talking about, bro? I've been a Patrick Mahomes fan my entire life since I was 2 years old.
I will slap. By the way, you already did get slapped.
Yeah.
What is this? You said I could
I'm
get
pretty
you.
sure when you were 2 years old, his dad was still pitching in the major leagues.
Patrick Mahomes fan.
I thought you were
I've got
coming to the
jerseys prove it.
green.
I'm not a bandwagon fan. I've never been.
You've got
into
the
Blues
jerseys to prove
ever.
it. You have a
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes jersey?
I've got several of them. All of the jerseys.
Did it suck to
Do
see
you
him
really?
lose?
No.
I was
How did it
about to
feel?
say I have a Derrick Henry in my closet. We all know why that is. Anyway,
I
that's
don't
not important.
have a
That's
camera
not
jersey
why
yet.
you're here. That's not why you're here. We're here to, guys. Okay, so we are going to talk about Thunderbolts, and I'm going to tell you why. We're going to talk about it because it just came out, and I think the entire landscape of Marvel and the way movies are done with stuff like that, it has changed irrevocably for a couple of different reasons. Not just because of Thunderbolts. Yeah, for real. Because and we are going to get into spoilers. Not right now. I'll tell you guys, though, we are going to talk through the movie and we're going to talk spoilers.
Spoilers.
If you've been on the internet, you've seen the crazy thing that Marvel has done with this movie. To me, it's crazy.
Yes, I'm so
Right?
glad he's bringing this
There's
up.
one thing that is kind of a big reveal that if you're on the internet at all, chances are you've seen it, is that they have already revealed the secret title, which I'm assuming is what the asterisk is for, to get rid of Thunderbolts. And spoiler alert, this is your last warning. This is the last before we get into spoilers for the movie.
It can't
this
really
one
be a
is a
spoiler.
spoiler.
It's all over the internet.
It is called the New Avengers. Now, listen, how long did they give us to think this movie was Thunderbolts whilst in the theaters to then immediately change it to the New Avengers?
It happened Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So
And that
So, to
movie
be honest with you, I watched the whole movie and then experienced the retitle.
right. So did I.
well, that was like the major part of the whole. Like that was like the ending.
Well, they brought up the phrase New Avengers, but I didn't think I was going to hop on social media Monday morning and see posters that said New Avengers. I got to be honest with you, though, real quick, because I'm going to give Nello his moment of glory here. I actually love this. I thought about it, went through some of the advertisements. I love this idea. I love what they did.
Okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's one of those things where I was like, okay, here's the thing I was talking about. This is going to change irrevocably. Movies now, or studios now know and now see that the internet is going to A, spoil their movie. B, they're going to have the entire plot and everything that's a secret the moment the movie releases, if not beforehand. So now they're jumping into spoiling huge things. Because I mean,
No,
there's a whole, what is it, the non-disclosure that all these reactors,
NDA.
yeah, NDA, that all the people who do the reactions and get to go early, and they all have that. They are free to talk about this kind of stuff the day after the movie comes out. So the fact that they're going to let that out immediately was kind of insane.
so this is why it's a stupid, bad idea. The whole ending of your movie was ruined beforehand. Number one, people like me that work the weekends and only get off on Monday or Tuesdays or have jobs or have something going on where they can't see the movie at reveal, that kills your movie. Okay, I just saw the New Avengers. that just kills the special it factor of that whole movie. They built up to that the whole time.
Can I ask you a genuine question?
Feel cheated.
I say one
Can
thing.
I ask you a genuine question? Right, what you just said, it spoiled the ending. So I'm genuinely asking this, not being a smartass at all. How did it spoil the ending?
I had the same exact question. What did it spoil for you?
Because you're going into it thinking it's a whole new team. This isn't the real Avengers.
It is a whole new team. It's not the real Avengers.
I'm going to get.
It doesn't change the fact that they were teaming up, though.
Even that, I get the whole angle of it is it's not real because even in the end credit scenes, whatever happens, which we're not going to talk about because it's spoilers. And
we are just not right now.
Yeah, right. So there's that. But I'm talking about let's take that away. Once you do it publicly with like the real actors pulling, because that was the whole thing. Now every media outlet is going to cover it that is into this type of like fandom.
That's just a different type of marketing. Now, this I think only ruins it for the folks that are hyper, don't spoil anything. But to Rhino's point, it spoils nothing. It spoils nothing in the movie. If you watch it start to finish and you call it New Avengers or you call it Thunderbolts, it changes nothing. So I get where you're coming from. I just think that reveal should have been a little nugget, a little something that people went to go see the movie, had a chance to have that as their own before Marvel goes out literally as the box office closes that weekend saying, by the way, this is the name of our movie. So I just thought that was an odd way to go. That's
the
really
timing was very odd. I agree with that. But
right. And go ahead.
I was going to say, we went into this movie knowing that they team up. We know that from, I mean, even the people who aren't comic book readers and who just saw the trailer know that they team up in the movie. So it doesn't spoil any kind of teaming up aspect. We know that, yeah, they're calling themselves the New Avengers right now. We know that they aren't the main Avengers. So that's not any kind of way of spoiling who the actual Avengers are going to be going forward permanently. I mean, we know that these aren't the S tier Avengers that we're going to see like in Doomsday.
Let's not go too far into this. I want to talk about some other stuff.
Avengers,
but let's talk about a couple of other interesting things that have happened out there in the world. The Fortnite event having Star Wars in there. I was telling the boys right before we press record, I was flying through the map on a TIE fighter, chasing down people and killing them, and then jumping out and using my lightsaber to duel people on the ground. Like, when are we going to start giving Fortnite its flowers? I know how you feel, Ryan, that you think they rip people off, but that gameplay and the ability to do what you can do and the customization levels is at this point undeniable.
It's more fun.
The equivalent of you calling Fortnite a shit game is the equivalent of guys calling Tom Brady not the greatest quarterback.
Well, he's not the greatest quarterback of all time.
Okay, so anyways,
right. Well, we know who's suspect in the room.
Let me ask you this question real quick. Open question to everybody. Who has made the best Star Wars game over the last, say, 8 years?
Battlefront 1 was pretty
EA
good.
Battlefront, yeah.
So you were Battlefront ahead of like the Force Awakens?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. 100%.
All right, fair enough. Now,
did you mean like the Lost Jedi or whatever it was with Cal Kestis?
Cal Kestis, yeah. So in terms of enjoyability and the content you're getting, how close is Fortnite to that?
Very, very, very close to Battlefront.
It's different, though.
It's not even a Star Wars game, and it's on par with actual Star Wars games.
Yeah, 100%. It really is. The fact that I can go down to the Rebel base if I want and beat somebody to an X-Wing. The only thing that could make that different and kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say cooler, but more of a Star Wars immersive feel is if they had a Sith versus Jedi where you could grab the Sith stuff or grab the Jedi stuff or either or, but have teams of 50 fighting each other. That would be the only way that would feel more like Battlefront than Battlefront. But I mean, the things that they are allowing you to do at this, I think at one point you're going to get to pilot a Star Destroyer. You're going to be able to go onto the Death Star and destroy it from within.
What?
On the Fortnite map? Come on.
I know they're going to.
I mean, come on.
I know they're breadcrumbing a little bit at a time, so that's cool.
By the way, I hate that. I hate that.
I do too.
I know every night I've been like, shop's about to pop off tonight. I know they're going to, because like a lot of the skins that they revealed, there weren't a ton that weren't in that were in the battle pass. A lot of the really cool ones that people were like, whoa, I definitely want that, or either the secret skin like General Grievous or their Mace Windu, the customizable Mandalorian, or Darth Jar Jar, which are all going to be shop items. So they're making sure that everybody's going to be able to get those cool skins if they can't dedicate the time to the battle pass.
I might buy that Mandalorian skin.
I'm 100%. I've actually
1,000.
refrained from doing anything on Diablo or Rivals because I'm saving my credits, my Republic credits for the Star Wars stuff. When I put that Mando skin on, I might not take it off ever.
But I just want to say they
This is the way.
did bring down that lightsaber because it was definitely stronger as a bat. The lightsaber is not as strong as a melee weapon as the bat was in the previous season. They nerfed it a little bit. They did nerf it.
I think there's also a point for that. I think it also does
It's a
lot
lightsaber,
more.
bro. You should be able.
Well, you also get the force abilities with the lightsaber, so that's why they had to tone the lightsaber down. Otherwise, it'd be OP.
Right. That was the point I was going to make. Is you getting extra abilities, a double jump to keep you from dying if you fall. As a matter of fact, I got knocked out of the sky at 100 meters, and I'm falling. I pull out the lightsaber, double jump, and I'm okay.
A lot of people are using it for force push too. Whoever gets that, because I guess there's different types of lightsabers.
Yeah.
And if you get the force push, you can literally just
and
take somebody out and just push them off the mountains.
Apparently, as the game progresses through the Star Wars season, the people you're going to be able to get force abilities from is going to change. Like right now, it's the Emperor and one of the Padawans. Next, you'll be able to get Darth Maul.
It's Rey too, I think.
And yeah, at some point you'll be able to get Rey too. But it's just like I think it's just so intuitive that this game can change like this and have so many different things they allow you to do. It's just next level.
Yeah,
I agree.
Love it.
I agree.
And I fucking love a company too for, even though the way I feel about them, I still, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, they still do a great job. But the thing about them too is like, you have people that are creative and they're like, you know what, do that. Like, that'd be cool. Let's do it. Let's not worry about money. Just do it. Give it to the people. Give them what they want.
Yep.
And that's why they're such a great game.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those things is I'll get bored and I'll just go, let's pick a theme. And that's part of the fun is sitting in the lobby going, okay, maybe we want to go 80s movie star or 80s, or it was like, I'll often ask
Animal.
Yeah, animal's a big one. So if you find out like the tiger skin or something, and that's just fun for a round. Now, of course, there's times where we get on and say, okay, the Sith boys are coming out. You're going to pick the Sith trooper. We're just rocking that because you want to be a serial killer out there on the map. But the fact that you have that freedom down to like what song you want to listen to in the lobby or when it's coming in, and what your guns want to look like, what pickaxe you want. If you want to make
play music while you're waiting in the loadout screen, like it's kind of crazy if you really think about it.
Exactly, it's
dances, whatever, emotes or whatever you want.
The one that I always bring it up to is Mario, Super Mario. I mean, we were jumping up and hitting bricks. Now look what all we're doing. But I'd say that's been going well. That's been going well. I've taken quite the break from Rivals.
Yeah.
No.
Its matchmaking has not been kind. I will quit after 2 games.
Oh yeah.
This one won't quit till after losing 10 in a row.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a lot. And
it's so addicting, dude.
I've got to back him up. It's an addicting game. I just can't stand losing. I
get there, but there's losing and then there's getting stomped.
And getting stomped happens way more often.
That's why I stopped playing Warzone.
Like if we come in and have a good game as a twosome, the next round we are getting the pros. The Korean pro team is jumping in to play us down to freaking gold. It feels like.
That's why I stopped playing COD. I understand this whole get better, son, but at times, even in Fortnite, there will be times where you get stomped, and then just for somehow the matchmaking it brings you back down.
Yeah.
Whereas in COD, that's it. If you're getting stomped in the beginning, you're getting stomped the way through.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem in COD.
We've also got the announcement of the new college football and Madden coming out. How exciting is it, boys? We're a year in and we still have college football.
What?
We haven't lost it yet.
I
don't think we're gonna lose it. We're in the age of the NIL, so
yeah. Hey, if we won one thing,
I will say one thing just on a gaming news: the whole GTA getting pushed back a year makes me sad.
After as much as I played the last one, I can see why you'd be upset.
You
didn't play it?
I've never even considered downloading anything.
It's just
like
such
that.
a big map. It's
not since San Andreas have I thought about downloading a GTA.
GTA 5 was really dope, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say GTA 6 is gonna be crazy.
It looks real.
Yeah,
it looks amazing.
You ever see the it's like a TikTok where the dude is showing his grandma gameplay footage of GTA 5, but he's making it look like a news clip.
Uh-huh.
And so it's a car barreling down the street and like barrel rolls into 5 people. His grandma thinks it's real. Like she thinks she's actually watching the news.
No, I haven't seen
My
that one.
favorite is the guy who took his grandmother's face and superimposed it onto DVD covers and then walked her through Walmart and had her organically find them.
I've
She's
seen that one,
like,
too.
look at this. What the fuck? She goes, look at Shrek. And it's her face. And this poor Walmart employee bastard is walking by. She's like, hey, who do I talk to about this? And he's like, oh my God. Because she's holding up Spider-Man 2, and it's her face instead of Spider-Man. It's really a great time.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
Look at Shrek. I'll never forget the way she says that. Old women getting freaked out. That's something that can join my
Creamy shits.
Shit, that's the one I was about to do.
Oh wow.
Look at this shits. Creamy shits. God, the lady has Merry Christmas on her garage door, and her grandson changes it around to say creamy shits. And she is having a conniption in her
Creamy shits.
creamy shits.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, there's nothing else in gaming.
I mean, there's that Expedition 33 that a lot of people have been talking about. It's another single player kind of turn-based action, but apparently they have amped up the turn-based. Now, I've only been a turn-based person for Final Fantasy in the past.
Yep.
Or you can do kind of turns in the Dragon
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate too. I actually prefer the turn-based the way the Final Fantasy does it, where it's your team set up there, because in Baldur's Gate, it's like you don't have a chance to set up your team. So it's like, well, we're attacking, and you're just screwed.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I've tried to go through Baldur's Gate a couple of different times, and I know a lot of people love it. I'm not here for it.
Trying to get them bear cheeks, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not at this point. I don't care about the bear cheeks anymore. You know,
I'm actually a little disappointed you missed one headline in gaming news.
What's that?
Gears of War Reloaded.
it's what I'm literally. So what I was about to say is
Always jumping the gun.
the Gears of War had a remake. Who's ready to not play it with me?
Oh wow.
I brought that up because I'm pretty sure you told me that's the worst one, isn't it?
No, this is the best one. This is the original remade to the newest graphics.
Oh,
so this Gears of War is the one that I was a walking encyclopedia for. This was the one that I beat on insane mode. Like, this is my jam.
And you don't want to play it?
I don't. I played it already. I've beaten. I know how the game works. What are they possibly going to add to make it any better?
They're going to make it look better, man.
Cool.
Well, it's also nostalgia, you grumpy fuck.
I know how the story goes. I know.
We all know how Mario ends.
Yeah, he's right. There's nothing to say, but he's right. So
right. Okay. So
we know how Zelda ends.
Listen, hey, if y'all want to play it, I'll have it downloaded. No,
I mean, we don't have to go that far.
That's what I thought.
Xbox, sorry.
Nobody's been on
Xbox
Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. You guys disappointed me there too?
Nope.
That one's crazy fun.
Is it really?
I think so.
Is it cross-plat?
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Okay.
I don't know of many games that aren't cross-plat anymore.
Right. Well, this Gears will be on PS5. Yeah.
Ooh,
This Gears remastered
guess-
will be
I mean,
on
other than solo player games, obviously, but
cross-plot and cross-progression. So, yeah, that game will be available.
I guess we might have to give it a go.
Listen, I can learn.
I played the first Gears 2.
I can
I was
learn.
an Xbox kid.
The first Gears 2?
Yeah, the first Gears that you. This one that.
Oh,
you
I
just,
thought you said I played the first Gears 2 because Gears 2 is
Gears as well.
TOO,
Gotcha.
I played 1 and 2 and then I stopped
TOO, TWO.
There you go.
because then it was PlayStation forever.
There it is.
There are a couple juicy Marvel headlines that we could cover real quick before Thunderbolts.
Let's do it.
All right. This one, I actually wanted to bring this one up specifically because I'm a little nervous about what kind of precedent it could set for the future. But there was a headline that Jeremy Renner says he turned down Hawkeye season 2 because they offered him half of what he made for season 1.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I don't like this is because it wasn't like one of the lesser known actresses. Like the She-Hulk actress. She's a great actress, but she's not Robert Downey Jr. She's not Chris Hemsworth, right? So I could understand if they offered the She-Hulk actress half of her salary. It would suck. I wouldn't want them to do that, but that story would make sense to me. Offering one of your S-tier actors who's been around since day one half his salary for another season's worth of work, it's a dangerous precedent you set when you want guys like RDJ to come back and do a couple movies, or if Chris Hemsworth ever wants to come back, what are you going to do then?
I think it's a little shisty on the studio's behalf. And I think Renner, because the comments obviously came on a podcast that he did, were a bit of trying to recover his own image. Because I think Disney didn't want to do Hawkeye season 2. I think they purposefully lowballed him because they knew he would say no. And then they could say, we couldn't come to terms with Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, that's
and
such
then
corporate
that
move.
makes Jeremy Renner look like he's the one saying, no, I'm not worth this. So Jeremy having to come out and play ball and say, he also said it and then backtracked immediately.
Of course he did.
He was like,
Avengers is coming.
it's all Disney. And he goes, well, it's not. Well, he goes, it's not Marvel. And it's not even really Disney. It's the Disney penny pinchers. I'm like, Jeremy, we all know it's Disney. We all know.
Yeah.
But do you think
I don't know if I would go as far to say it's Marvel though. I think that's probably Disney telling Marvel, hey,
Yeah.
But
Well, Disney's the one paying
Disney
for it.
owns Marvel, so
do you think he's overvaluing his hand by saying that?
Not
no,
Do you think
not even a little bit.
Like I get maybe a half might have been disrespectful, but is he really worth a full paycheck?
You can't offer him a penny
No.
less than what he did for season 1.
When the show is really now it's taken off and it's about the girl. Do you
Doesn't
get what
matter.
I'm saying?
I think you guys love this narrative that it's all about Kate Bishop. She's definitely
She is.
a major part of it. She's the co-lead, the title of Hawkeye. I get it, but it's
They already released that he would have had a lesser role in season 2. They've already said that.
It said that she was going to come into her role in for these movies and,
and
so on and so
I'm
forth.
okay with
come
that.
through.
But I also agree with Rhino because Jeremy Renner, at the end of the day, is a draw no matter what. You get a certain level of stardom or hype for a show or a series when you can attach his name to it, no matter how much or how little he's in it. If you're banking off of the fact that his name is in your show, here's how much it costs to get my name in your show. You paid it last time. If you don't want to pay it this time, I understand. Then that means I won't be there. I mean, to me, it's as simple as that. I agree with Rhino 100%. Pay him what you paid him. Because why? Because you're fucking Disney. You're the ones at the end of the day that are stroking all the checks. Your big losses, don't blame us. Don't blame us because you guys don't listen to the consumer and listen to what we want. You make what you think we want. And every time it seems to be a fail lately.
I would love to know the portion of revenue that just Marvel brings in for Disney's movie studios.
Right now, it's got to be immense if they're not like 90% of it.
If you add up every single movie that Disney produces, whether it be Star Wars, Marvel, the children's movies, what have you, Marvel has to be the vast majority of that percentage.
I'm still curious as to what half of that money was that he's just like, it's not enough. I'm just curious because it's not. I don't even know how much he made season 1.
Honestly,
It's nowhere near what a movie salary would be. It's probably a fraction of that.
Show.
It's probably still $1 million.
I mean, there's reports could be like 6 to 8 he made in season 1. So they
6
might
to
have
8 million.
Maybe.
Listen, you're Disney Plus. How much money are you guys earning every month from people anyway?
Yeah,
$7 billion.
They've got to be earning $7 billion. Yeah.
I wanna say
So
last
$1
time I looked, I
million
think it
to
was like
Jeremy
$7
Renner,
billion a
and you're
month.
gonna fucking turn your nose up at that. And this is one of the products that's working for you. I mean, Hawkeye season 1 maybe didn't like grab everybody in the world, but if you're a fan of the show, it was quality. It was a good show. It was true to the character. I thought it was one of the better made ones. Also, I'm the guy you market the show Hawkeye for. Yeah. So I mean, I'm sitting here like, yeah, it's worth it. It works.
But like I said before, a few weeks ago, Disney's losing money left and right. Can't just keep throwing bad money behind bad stuff.
He's got a point.
Hey, listen, I just Googled this real quick. So I Googled how much has the Marvel Cinematic Universe generated in revenue total. Since day one, since its inception, it has made $31 billion at the global box office. It's the highest grossing film franchise in the history of cinema. When you have somebody that's
It's
an
also
actor
the
like
big-
Jeremy Renner,
Yeah.
you don't offer him less for something that he's going to do for you.
Could not agree.
It's just that simple. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how shitty season 1 even was. That's irrelevant to what they're going to pay him for season 2.
Yeah.
I agree with Jack. That's a move that a corporation makes when they know that you're going to say no. So they're just like, just say
I
no.
think that's
we get
exactly-
it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Hey, here's what we're offering you. And then as soon as that email's sent, they turn to their guy and go, all right, I think we're done with Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So let's move on to something else.
Or maybe
I don't like the tactics of making one look bad than the other, though. They could have easily just said, hey, we're moving on from this project and left it at that.
Yeah. Hey, we might revisit it, but as of right now, we're not going to deal with it.
But they're not moving on. They're just moving on from him. She is now going to be she is going to become whatever Hawkeye is.
As she should. She's a mega star right now.
100% agree.
She is a phenomenal actress.
Agree as well.
And she is capable of carrying the Hawkeye mantle.
And
I
she's
mean-
cheating on Josh Allen.
With Michael B. Jordan, right? Is that what you're gonna say? Oh God. But yeah, she's a bona fide star. So her doing that and being able to physically do a lot of the stuff, because we know Jeremy had that terrible accident, which in his book he says he died. He actually died in that accident, and they resuscitated and brought him back. Holy shit!
That is crazy though.
That is, that was another question I wanted to ask. Like, I wonder what kind of capacity he's even going to be used in for the Avengers movies. I mean, it's got to be backseated, right?
Yeah. Was he in the
Like
chair?
almost like a man in the chair. Yeah.
Was he listed in the chairs for Doomsday?
I don't know. I figured out. Was he? Yep. He said yes.
I'm almost positive he was.
So I mean, he's gonna have to be back at some point.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about Thunderbolts / New Avengers with a Z. And we'll get it going. Okay, gang? So let's do that. A quick break and be right back. Okay, gang, and we're back to talk about the Thunderbolts / New Avengers. I'm just going to give you your spoiler warning now.
Spoilers.
We're going to go through it. We're going to talk about all the plot points, what happens in the movie, what we liked, what we didn't like. And yeah, so that was your spoiler warning. Off we go for Thunderbolts.
Spoilers.
So only 3 of us have seen it. So if you see a lot of facial reactions from Brian, then you'll know that he was the one who didn't get a chance to see it. But I went on Sunday. Nello, you went today. Ryan, you went.
Yes,
Rhino,
I
you
did.
went on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah,
And
he-
Ryan went Sunday at 10:30 p.m.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he
Man.
did.
Oh
You
man, I
did?
almost said it. Here we
Yeah, I
go.
saw it.
My fucking man.
Shit, hey.
Look at that.
Hey, hold on before we go further at all. You owe my man an apology, dog.
No, I was about to say, let me get
And
my foot up
also
in here.
too, I'm gonna send you all a request to Venmo you guys for the $39 that I spent to see that shit. Because
$39.
Wait, where the fuck did you
I had
go?
to see it in IMAX.
I saw it in
Don't remind
IMAX
me.
as well.
Did you see it on set?
Apparently,
Bruh.
Unless it went
AMC
prime time.
20.
Hold on. Did you just say you didn't like it?
No. Why does that surprise you?
I can see where he's coming
It doesn't
from, though.
surprise me at all.
I can see where he's coming
Okay. So let's go through this real quick. Who was your favorite of the Thunderbolts cast? It doesn't have to be an obvious one, but
Yelena. Yelena is by far my
to
favorite.
me, I think that's the obvious pick. She's fucking phenomenal.
She is phenomenal.
Outside of that, and somebody I think that carried the movie that we weren't expecting them to carry the movie, but they did so much heavy lifting was
John Walker.
What?
Taskmaster.
What the?
Oh God, I was so ready for that, man.
That's actually my
Taskmaster.
first problem with the movie.
Okay,
I felt
sorry.
Taskmaster.
Spoiler.
Like, do that to me right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Shit.
God!
Let's just get it
So
done.
we've talked about
She was. To be honest with you, she was a collateral damage that I was willing to part ways with.
Yep.
It did not bother me that she died at the beginning at all because she was such a terrible character to begin with in Black Widow. I mean, that was one of the things that made Black Widow not be an elite movie to me.
What?
Was Taskmaster. So
I
her
agree with the whole Dreykov's daughter being a stupid thing. I don't think Taskmaster is a stupid character.
I think it was
no. Just the way they did Taskmaster was I could have done without that.
And I feel bad for the actress because she did fine for what they wanted her to do,
Sure.
which was not much at all.
I was gonna
She
say.
did fine. I mean in Black Widow and in this.
No, this was even worse though. Like, what did
But it
she
was
really
just
do?
like,
Well, she was there to kill John Walker.
right.
Or no, she was there to kill Ghost, right?
Right. She was there to kill
Yeah.
Ghost. John Walker was there to kill. So anyway,
Walker was there to kill.
plot of the
one,
movie
and-
that you can probably guess by looking at it is, these are all anti-heroes that don't really have a purpose. They end up going to work for the
Oh,
same
no.
person.
Hold on. Before
You
get
hold
there.
on because I'm talking.
But
right
my
now.
my favorite character is not Yelena.
Okay. Let's. Sorry, I didn't go around the horn there. You're right. I was just kind of setting it up for the Taskmaster joke, but go ahead.
Yeah, the big red machine is the
Guardian.
best character.
Okay, Ryan, who's your favorite character?
Obviously gonna be Bucky, but
Bucky.
Bucky was pretty damn solid in that too.
because it's funny because you guys, Red Guardian could have done without him.
What?
Elena could have cared less.
Oh
And
my god!
and I'm keeping it a buck. You know what? I almost
I
think y'all
can appreciate the buck. I can appreciate the buck.
Since we
Whoa.
got Stockholm syndrome.
like y'all put so much faith in Marvel. Like, oh, we look, man, that movie was not great
Okay.
at all.
I'd
In
love.
my personal opinion.
I would love to hear why that is, but Ryan, you go ahead and answer the question as well. I think your answer is
Oh no, Yelena. It's Yelena, 100%. Not even close.
For me, it was John Walker. I loved John Walker. I thought he was such a great character. There were some missteps in the movie for sure, but in terms of serving size and what we got, the John Walker from Captain America and the Winter Soldier got on my nerves. I wasn't a fan of him at all. I was just kind of like, oh man, now we're gonna see this guy again. In this movie, I thought he fucking rocked. I thought
We're talking about the best redemption story that we've probably had in Marvel.
That would be it. I was just gonna say, like, they built him that way for a reason, because wasn't he supposed to be technically the villain in this?
no,
And then they redid it,
No.
or the original writers? I
no.
thought so.
I thought Yelena, against Ryan's thinking, showed that she could be a main actress. She carried that cast. Everything she did on screen was fucking awesome. I mean, Florence Pugh for sure can carry a franchise.
Black Widow, who?
Yeah, Black Widow. Who? I mean, this is what I think they would have liked for Scarlett Johansson to be. But I think
She's a better Black Widow than Scarlet is, in my opinion.
right.
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 way.
No. She
way.
is just
Give me
different and
ScarJo.
better. She's just different. I don't know about better, but she's just different.
I'll
and
take
it's
that.
Exactly
I'll take
what
that.
we needed.
I take that.
I don't need Scarlet. I don't need Black Widow again. Give me something different.
It
And
is
you
Black
gave
Well, she is a Black Widow, though. That's the thing. Like Black Widow isn't just one person.
But I think Nello has an excellent point there. She is not the traditional sense Black Widow. She doesn't dress in all black and do that, kind of. She has the bright blonde hair. They tried to make her different, and I think it's done gangbusters.
refreshing. I don't need a rehash. I get it. I've had it. Give me something new. Boom. Marvel, good job.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, when I said it's a better Black Widow, it would be in the same capacity as if we were talking about Sam Wilson being a better Captain America than Chris Evans. I mean, they are two different characters. At the end of the day, Yelena is going to be the equivalent of Black Widow in the Avengers.
Sure.
So she is better at Black Widow. She's more enjoyable to watch at Black Widow than Scarlet was.
And not for me.
I can hardly see how this episode's gonna go. I thought Red Guardian was great. No Red Guardian. Tell us your thoughts, Ryan. I'd love to hear why you don't like the movie.
Why didn't we not need the Red
Yeah.
Guardian? That's what I want to know.
I don't necessarily feel that we didn't need him. He just got on my nerves. It's annoying. It's like trying to be the comic relief and just
he was
trying to,
the comic
it's like they
relief for
tried
sure.
to force him in there. It almost felt to me. It almost felt like watching the Suicide Squad meets Thor: Love and Thunder, where they tried to make a lot of things funny and just can and push it in. And to me, I just wanted the movie to be over. I was like, this got all kind of rave reviews, and this is just not it. for me.
I don't.
It missed the whole mark for me.
I felt the humor was well placed in this one
Like,
because I mean,
I'll give you Suicide
for
Squad
me-
E, but Love and Thunder, no.
for me, this was like the first time I watched a Marvel movie. I don't think I laughed once.
What?
Not once.
So I can see where Ryan is coming from. He is to the extreme side of the spectrum that we're on. My one critique about this movie was that they sprinkled just a pinch too much Red Guardian for me. So like on a scale of 0 to 100, it was like 102. Not much, but just a pinch too much.
Avengers.
I disagree. I liked him. The only time that I
I
felt,
loved him. He was a great character. It was just,
yeah, The only time I felt he was a bit
was just
much was the last two of the cut scenes. In the movie itself, there were some questionable. How did this happen? But in terms of him being there and being a part of the team, this is anyway. This goes into a deeper conversation. He doesn't like you have 3 super soldiers. That's what you have. 3 super soldiers, and Ghost, and a Black Widow. To me, if I'm the public and I'm sitting here like, oh, we need new heroes, and they go, these are the new Avengers, I'd be like, whoa, hold on, because I'm pretty sure one of the old Avengers could handle all of the new Avengers.
Well, other than Sentry.
Well, I don't count Sentry right now. And by the way,
without the Red Guardian, they don't beat the Void. If he doesn't
That's
push
true.
off that thing, Yelena doesn't get over
But
there to
that's
calm
not-
him down.
I think
New
it's more
York
of
gets swallowed by whatever the hell that was.
You're talking action pieces. I think more narratively and writing wise is what they're referring to, not his physical capabilities and what he actually did in the movie.
Without him, the narrative is New York gets swallowed by the Void.
Well, I mean, you can't say that for sure.
Right. You can't. I disagree.
That was the whole point. She
That's-
went there. I'm here.
But if he didn't exist, they could have written it a different way.
See, this is why I love movies like this, because I think people, your little comment right there about her going, I'm here. That was the whole mental journey of dealing with depression for the Sentry guy.
100%
I
agree.
thought that this movie made a superhero movie where you're supposed to have nothing but ass kicking and added layers to it. They did something that you didn't expect them to do. That's what makes it a better Marvel movie to me, because every time it's the one good guy, main protagonist, main antagonist, or a team up against the main antagonist, and they kick his ass and it's over. And I go, okay, well, they win. This was completely different. It added a lot more layers to the universe. This was, if you're talking about cinematic lasagna, this was the ricotta. You know what I mean?
I get it. It was a layer one, but without the Red Guardian, let her go there. They don't.
Okay,
defeat the
so
Void.
please move on. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but without the Red Guardian pushing. Yeah, here's what I can't fucking wait is for
That's
the
why
end
I
of
did it.
Doomsday. The
So-
end of Doomsday when Downey Doom is snapping away the universe this time. He's like, yeah, but he wouldn't have that opportunity to snap these folks if Red Guardian didn't push the thing off his chest.
Yeah, so it's like they're sad. That's the thing. Like, come on, bro. She's supposed to be a black.
But dude, I like seeing the human side of people you think are supposed to be super. I mean, that's a great story, dude. You got people who you would think would beat the shit out of anybody in the world, but here they are fucking sobbing on the side of the street in New York City.
Other one of my problems is the whole Elena, like a 90-pound woman beating a bunch of trains. So, okay, if you guys want to go there, you guys want to believe that happens, go for it.
She
But-
could.
Then you have this thing, Sentry, and it's one of those things too. I feel they did a very bad job of like,
Oh, come on.
what? You're not even gonna let me finish my statement.
Yeah, let him
Go
finish.
ahead. Go ahead.
something
Go ahead.
that-
Sorry.
Like demonstrating what was happening, what Sentry was, and who he was. Because like my wife, had I not have said, "Oh, he's the Void now," like I saw the whole thing coming, and she's like, "What is that?" Like they didn't explain a whole lot. They said the one
Right.
throwaway Void line, but to somebody who's never seen that, it's just like a throwaway thing. Like she's like, "What's going on?" Like I don't understand.
I 100% agree with his take on that.
I
villain.
can definitely
Right
identify with that. That if you don't know much about Sentry and what he can do, then you might be a little confused.
And then it's like one of those things like he couldn't do one thing all of a sudden, and now after that he just beats the shit out of 3 super soldiers 5 minutes later after she makes him boil a pot of water or glass of water wherever it was.
So
Like
for those of you counting at home, this is what the Sentry in the Marvel comics has done, and I'm tying this into the point that
Yep.
you're making. I promise. Let me just run through these as quickly as possible without necessarily needing to go through them one by one. Reality manipulation, matter manipulation, superhuman strength, speed, endurance, agility, reflexes, senses, and durability, enhanced senses, night vision, microscopic vision, telescopic vision, infrared vision, and X-ray vision, extrasensory perception, clairvoyance, soul vision, aura vision, energy detection, practical invulnerability, psionic powers, astral projection, telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, reincarnation, immortality, resurrection, regenerative healing factor, energy manipulation, weather manipulation, flight, heat vision, invisibility, intangibility, illusion inducement, biokinesis, and life creation. Stupid. That's one of the dumbest characters that's ever been written, in my humble opinion, based on this overabundance of wealth that makes every other hero insignificant when used correctly. You literally don't need anybody else but this dude
Like
because he can
Galactus
do it
who?
all.
He's
Right.
every comic book hero is rolling a one.
So I think I'm gonna go with both your points. I think you are correct for him to all of a sudden know all of this shit without any sort of explanation that he might be struggling with this. This is why he can't do it. Not just I'm gonna look motherly and go in here with him and hope that he does the best. And then the next time you see him, he's mastered everything. So I think Marvel was smart about the way that they showed him. I think you're right. That's dumb for them to all of a sudden show him having all of that. Although his depiction of what he can do in him fighting the Thunderbolts, spot the fuck on. It was one of the best fights in the movie. Those guys just totally getting handled. Nobody lands one punch on the Sentry, nor should they. So this is where I think I understand why people might be confused, but I think it's brilliant because you have this ultra character that can solve all the problems. He has to have something equally wrong with him or bothersome for him that would then balance out all of the good. So for them saying the whole, well, he gets amnesia after this happens and he has to kind of go into his mind into a Sentry mode to be able to be that character and do those things, then that means he's not on 24/7, 7 days a week. He has to be there. Otherwise he can turn into this tactical nuke, which is the Void. Do I think those needed a little bit more explanation and maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Where basically where they spell it out for you before they show you, right?
Oh, pre-shadowing?
Exposition. So for them to go through all those things and say, hey, if this worked, here's what this guy would be capable of. And it would be a good way to instill fear into another character when they're like, we're trusting this guy with everything. Here's what he can do. And they start listing it. That is a great time for that character to pick up the phone and go, hey, Bucky, they're building a fucking super killer in here. Now you need to get involved.
Not after the fact where they didn't even know he was alive or he existed.
Just saying that them giving themselves an out with the amnesia, I think was brilliant. And it makes that character a little bit more interesting to me. That's all I was going to say.
It's not a foregone conclusion that they're going to give him that whole list of powers. Because if they do give him that whole list of powers, why are we having any more movies? You know what I mean?
Well, then why I put the Sentry in there?
No, see, I get that he's supposed to have that, but that doesn't mean that in this universe, in this timeline, he does.
So we're gonna,
you know what I'm saying? He's got to have a weakness, otherwise, what is the point of having him?
Hey, there you go. And that's one of the reasons that was one of my gripes with the movie. You have the freaking Sentry, who's this all-powerful being fighting a human and 3 super soldiers, right? And he gets stopped because he's sad, and we're sad. There's
it's more than that.
But a cop out to me. Like you're watching this, like how do they win this?
I think it's an oversimplification, but I see where you're going.
Even I have a counter to Ryan's point here. I see exactly where you're coming from with this, but I think the thing that, and I'm not trying to say this in a rude way, but I think the thing a lot of people are bypassing right now is that this movie actually wasn't really about Sentry. Like he's a secondary piece in this movie. I know he has a large portion of the movie, but in terms of what the movie meant, he has he's a secondhand character. The movie was about the transformation of 5 shitty people into a team, right? Or 4 without Taskmaster. It was about the development of Yelena as somebody who could lead a group. It's, John Walker, seeing the human side of John Walker and actually loving that character now. It was meant to build these characters so we could see them in future projects.
It's a redemption.
Sentry was there as a main piece of the movie, yeah, but it's the point of the movie wasn't about it.
They're turning them from
this was
heel
also
to face.
showing them right. Well, not necessarily straight heel, but I get what you're saying. It was showing them being able to solve those problems and do what they needed to do without dealing with the wormhole in space and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
I don't think this is an Avengers team. And you stick around, there are 2 end credit scenes. The second one, before we talk about the big reveal at the end of that, is that they're talking about the fact that they legally aren't able to call themselves the Avengers because Anthony Mackie's Captain America has filed for naming rights to that name Avengers, and he's not allowing Bucky and Yelena and all those to use that name.
So I
thought that was actually pretty funny.
The movie comes out with an amazing suit, which if there aren't there, I will buy one.
The Red Guardian suit.
I will buy.
I can't wait. I would love for you to.
Avengers.
But I think they handled these guys all really, really well. I thought all these characters had moments to shine. The only one who really didn't need a redeeming quality, and I'd say is probably the one character I was like, I'm glad they're there, but they don't really do much, is the Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost, I mean, other than like tactically at the end, but like she didn't really do much for me.
She saved their
She had
life.
she had a couple good action sequences. I mean, we could tell
She's a
she's a
great
badass.
She's a great actress, but she doesn't have the same level of crap going on, at least that you see that John Walker and Red Guardian and Yelena are dealing with. I don't know. I don't think that these guys are worthy of being called Avengers.
Well, I said this before we started recording. I don't think they're actually going to be the Avengers. I mean, unless they do some sort of actually branded new Avengers where it's more their speed, they're not taking on galactic villains, then I'm all right with them being an Avengers team. But when it comes down to it, we know who we're getting for the actual Avengers team. It's going to be Thor. It's going to be the heavy hitters like Captain America, those guys.
I don't know that as of right now. I'd love to see more, but I agree with you.
But these aren't going to be the people that take on Doom.
No, when I look at the Avengers, because I have the Funko Pops in the middle of my table, there's only two that really couldn't take this entire Thunderbolts team by themselves.
It's Widow and Hawkeye.
It's Widow and Hawkeye.
I agree.
Other than that, every single one of them, Thor,
maybe they
Cap, Iron Man, Hulk,
they might be able to get a shot at Iron Man if he doesn't have the suit. If he doesn't have the suit and he can't get on the suit, I mean, that's basically it, right?
Who knows? But that's just what I'm saying is like, if this is what they're going to tell people they're the Avengers as the human beings of the planet, you look up and go, oh, are they? Great. Cool.
Honestly speaking, I actually think that one of the most unheralded parts of that movie was Julia Dreyfus's character, because I think that without her being that shady CIA operative and how she builds it at the end, it's like, guys, it's not that I was trying to do anything bad. Look, this is what I've been doing the whole time. So she still was able to spin it. I thought that was pretty cool.
I also liked Yelena telling her,
"We own you now.
We own you." By the way,
like my wife said, "How? What are you gonna do to her?" Like, I don't.
They have every piece of evidence against her though about what she was doing with Bob.
She took 4 or 5 pages out of that file wherever they were in the mountain.
Yeah, that's what they do, because they were all the trash. They were going to be destroyed. There were leaks to what was happening. They all had interest in what was going down with her, what's her name, Valentina, and her nefarious plot. So if anything happens with them, they know what she was doing and what they were doing for her. So now that they're in the public eye and Valentina is the one putting them on, they're like, you're going to do what we say.
Well, more importantly, they know what they know what was being destroyed now too.
Right.
And that's what she was being investigated for to begin with, was the experimentation that she was doing at those labs, the Ox labs.
Right.
There's not one redeeming quality of this whole movie. Like, I just refuse to believe, like, 2 hours of just complete dog poop for you, like, for real.
I mean,
what was your favorite part?
The credits.
I'm not even gonna cap, bro. No, I mean, the movie had some okay parts.
Was it Eternals bad for you?
For me, yeah.
Really?
For me, this Eternals, I will never watch this again.
Wow. I mean, I don't think I would either, but I also don't think
there's really no
that
point
bad.
to it. Like,
dude, it's in my top 5 non-Avengers movies.
100%. It's
like I said, Stockholm syndrome, and I even called the wife. I told him,
I want to know why you think that.
And I just, it was boring, bro. And it's funny because, like,
but why the Stockholm syndrome?
Too, and I should say that because I think you guys also look into it rather than just it's just a movie. Like, if you were just to watch this as is, this is just a movie, just it as is, right here, boom.
Then it's even better.
You're like, oh, so
let me ask you this question, Ryan, because I think this is a very important question, actually. So, what were you hoping it would be?
Yeah, good question. Shit.
Because you said it did not hit for me. So you obviously went into it with an expectation. What was that?
I didn't go in there with any expectations, to be quite honest. I wasn't even gonna watch the damn movie, but you guys made me. So if we're being honest, you know what I mean? Like, because here's the thing.
Preach.
I do love Bucky, and Bucky's an awesome character for me. The Winter Soldier.
Why?
But why?
Yeah,
because he's got a fucking metal arm, bro.
No. I'm asking.
He's still got his ass handed to him.
So he's got the metal arm. What else?
But also too, it's one of those things kind of like that she said in the thing too. There's a worse guy. You find out that there's a worse guy and a worse
Bad guy and a worse guy.
Yeah, that's one of those things for me. As I've never been one to like completely just love the good guy, and Bucky's kind of got that thing where you at the drop of a hat, he could be the Winter Soldier. He could be a bad guy again, right?
Sure.
And he can just go mess things up and just do things.
Right, he can snap.
I love
everybody
that.
else.
I don't like the guy like. I don't like people sometimes who don't get their hands dirty. Like you can make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. You know what I mean?
Every single team member of the Thunderbolts is a break some eggs person. Every single one of them.
I mean, hell, Yelena's flashback was she killed a class.
Clearly, you've never made an omelet.
No, she didn't kill him. She set her up to be killed.
Yeah, she basically
But
killed
she
her.
didn't pull the trigger.
Right.
Still, there's
The
a
girl
difference.
trusted her, went out there with nothing, and got popped.
And see, that's the other thing that kind of annoyed me. We don't have any context of what that whole thing was about either. Like, I guess
Black
it was her
Widow
best
training.
friend.
Red room training.
Oh yeah, Red Room training.
Yeah, but see, when we saw like Scarlett Johansson's thing, she was the one doing all the dirty work. You know what I mean? She was the one actually pulling the triggers, actually killing people.
But you
So
see that
the
even
Well, Yelena killed people too. I mean,
Well, yeah, I guess she does. But
here's another. You're arguing from the standpoint of like you have to know a lot going into this movie, right? I mean, unless you know what's going on with some of these people, you're not going to be lost in the movie. But at the same time, we're going on 18 years of Marvel Universe being around. Eventually, you're going to get to a point with your storytelling where you're going to have to see some of the stuff beforehand to understand what's going on. I mean, what are we, 30 movies in?
Yeah.
And 7-8 television series. I mean, it's inevitable for the Marvel cinematic universe to get to a point where they have to have a story that you know about previously.
And they have to kind of stop with the what's the movie I'm talking about? Like Batman Begins. You don't know, no more origin stories.
Origin story.
Gotta move past the origin stories. I bet you when we get X-Men, we do not get an origin story.
I hope
that's
so.
what I hope.
We don't need that.
we don't need it.
No. Nobody
Right.
at this point needs that. It's easy enough to find out about literally all these characters.
Yeah, it's called Google.
Yeah. Or watching or reading a comic. So
I think I just want to throw this in there. My favorite part about the Sentry is the fact that they did not overdo it with him in the slightest bit. They didn't even show his true power until the very end of the movie. You know, like that scene where they're climbing on their backs up that up the shaft, elevator shaft, to get to the top. I kept waiting for like one of them to fall, and then all of a sudden Sentry like, oh shit, I could fly, and he flies up. You know,
Me
I
too.
kept waiting for that to happen, and it didn't. Like there were so many. We only got one of those scenes, and that's when he ran out with the gun in front of all of the soldiers and got shot up. That's the only like ending scene that we got where he showed his true power. That's it.
Yeah, I think less of him is going to be more. Now, the Bob thing of him always having his hair right in front of his eyeballs and going, that fucking better be done quick. I'm sick of that already.
Yeah, that was a little annoying. Yeah.
I was like, okay, man, we get it. We get it. You're going through some stuff. Come on. But I
You
think,
get direction though from this movie, which is okay with me.
so the world acknowledged that they didn't have Avengers. So that overall adds another layer to what's going on in the MCU, because obviously Sam Wilson, it's been a year that he's been recruiting people and calling himself and his team the Avengers. Now we have the new Avengers competing, so that makes the world just a little bit bigger. We know Rocket and all those guys are up there on whatever galaxy they're in.
They do mention that there's a space conflict when they're in the second credit screen in the second credit
Yeah,
scene.
that's a Fantastic Four ship.
Right, and then I'm just saying they are acknowledging that there's an intergalactic conflict happening.
I disagree with you, Rhino. He says specifically there's a conflict in space.
She says it. Yelena says it.
Yeah,
was-
but so the thing is, the thing that they're not going to allude to entirely with that cutscene, that is the conflict that's happening in space because somebody is chasing them.
I also disagree. I think they're trying to talk about the bigger universe and that they are in communication with the people in the space side of things. And not to say that you're incorrect, but when the Fantastic Four ship
I
is
don't think
coming
they know
through,
that that's coming.
right. They act very surprised. And one thing I love that was very subtle was when she goes over to the iPad and Bucky's like, "You want to get a satellite image?" She's like, "I need to get a satellite image." You're going to pull it up on screen. And I'm going to pull it up on screen.
It's
I'm like,
she's
there
getting
we
her training
go.
wheels taken off.
Bucky's
Saw that
going in
too.
there going, "This is what you need to do. This is when you need to do it. Good job. Great. Got it."
Like the manager that he is, because
But
he
then-
technically is a senator or whatever. The hell he
Then
is.
we see, no, not anymore. I doubt he stays in the political office if he's calling himself the Winter Soldier again and becoming a fucking
I guess that is true.
Yeah. But the arrival of the Fantastic Four actually happens. This to me was our
I called this, by the
our
way.
Thor Ragnarok.
I called this, by the way. I said they were coming. I said we were going to get something. But my question about the whole movie, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take you off,
But you did.
and I apologize. Did you like the fact that they let the Russo brothers direct that credit scene at the end?
They did.
Well, there's a reason for that.
They've done that a lot because the Russo brothers are directing the movie. So since that,
Yeah, there's a reason why they directed that cutscene, because they actually directed it on the set of Doomsday. And I bet you a Buffalo nickel that Doomsday starts with their ship landing on Earth and meeting the new Avengers and saying, "What the fuck's going on?"
what the fuck is going? Never mind.
I would love to hear Reed Richards say what the fuck's going on.
Well, like I said, this is the Thor Ragnarok, right? Where at the end they're good, they're in the spaceship, nothing wrong is going to happen. That cuts to what Rhino said. I think that's absolutely right. They show up and the Fantastic Four do not get time to go, "Hi, we're the Fantastic Four. Nice to meet you." They show up as a team, ready to rock, not used to working with other heroes.
Like, hey, life is ending.
Right.
We also don't know which Fantastic Four we're getting, because it could
We're
be
getting
a youthful
Pascal.
Reed Richards, like the kid. You don't really know. You just know Fantastic Four. But what
hold on.
What you're getting?
What an interesting, very interesting idea there. So what if, oh man, Nello, you set it off. What if in that rocket is not the Fantastic Four? It's just Franklin.
We don't know.
They're sending, hey, we're going to die saving our planet. We love you, Franklin. We're going to send you somewhere that we know it's going to be safe and that Galactus isn't. Off you go. And Franklin is so powerful that even as a baby, he had telekinetic powers and the ability to speak to people. I think it's insane.
Actually, that's a good point. She obviously gives birth in the movie.
Right.
Because at the beginning of the trailer, she's pregnant.
Yep.
At the end of the trailer, she's normal again.
Yep.
Damn, that's actually wild.
That's the first thing that I was like, we don't know.
Births
you just
Franklin
know it's a ship
and says,
that shows up.
"We're dead here. I need you to go tell other heroes what happened so that they can be ready when it happens to them."
But you also
and
don't know
send
it's a
them off into
multiverse
another-
jump. It's
I
a
mean,
multiverse jump.
come on.
It's the things are endless, because if their Earth is getting destroyed
I
and
hope
Galactus
so.
is coming for this Earth, maybe the young Reed Richards or whatever Franklin comes to save this Earth.
Well, we know that Galactus wins in that movie. We know that Galactus wins.
Yeah, he's got to.
By the way, I saw that trailer and I actually don't like how the Silver Surfer looks.
That's what I was gonna say.
Looks like dog poop.
Put a fucking
That's
chick in it and make her fucking.
Oh, I don't care about the chick. I don't care about the chick. I just don't think it looks good.
Bro, like,
I don't
you
give a
can't-
shit about that.
you
That's
bring
not what
up
I
the
meant.
Silver Surfer and Norrin Rad ain't the guy,
I
bro.
disagree with both of
annoyed
you.
right now.
Norrin Rad is Earth 616 Silver Surfer.
Thank you. That's
These aren't 616 Fantastic Four. So they're gonna have a different Silver Surfer.
It could also be his love interest because he shares powers.
How do you know that?
I think that's incorrect too. I think
What
that,
is?
This is a different Fantastic Four. I know they're going to be in that universe. Maybe it is, but I think they were originally 616 heroes that left at some older time period, and them being in the planet kind of shaped that different reality, kind of in that older 60s style thing for whenever they show up and save the day. I think they're coming back to the 616 because that's where they're from.
Oh, I see. That's
I just don't like how
it's
it
just,
looks.
how would we not have known about them in the 616 at this point? How would there not even been the slightest mention? Because they've had the rights to the Fantastic Four for like 3 years now.
You might be right, but I'm just saying that's what I think is going to happen with it. But
Because I'm sorry. One last thing.
Third time
Someone actually mentioned this, I believe, on a TikTok, because I heard this exact sentence somewhere. Tony Stark has too much of an ego to have never talked about Reed Richards at any point.
I said this to you in the
You said it to me.
But how would he know?
It was on your TikTok page. Go look at it.
Again, we're assuming that there's a Reed Richards on this planet or this timeline. We don't know.
Well, anyway, there's a lot that they can go through and do that, but I think that you are correct, Rhino. If there was somebody out there that could be considered smarter than Tony Stark, which Reed Richards is the smartest man alive, so anybody's going to name him. Look at Infinity War. Well, we would call on Reed Richards, but he's he got snapped or something like that. So I think that's the only reason that mine might have a plot hole of them not being there. But
it's also that I don't think they were trying to include them in there. Now they're trying to meld everything together. This is one of the reasons why I've been about this.
I would personally rather they be a different universe's Fantastic Four and they come to ours. I would rather that be the story.
For them to
better
have not been
salvation
present
story.
for a lot of those issues, because I was thinking about that when they meet these new Avengers, the Fantastic Four are already a better team. They can handle the new Avengers. They can handle Anthony Mackie's Avengers.
Imagine Reed Richards or Franklin Richards being part of the new Avengers.
See, and it's funny because like I've never seen the Fantastic Four as always been that strong. I like the chicken who turned invincible, the guy who can stretch, and the thing, and the guy who's on fire. Like,
yeah, no, you're right.
I mean,
But when you watch them in
like
any comic and what they can do,
and a god.
Oh no, I didn't say they could.
Like,
I didn't say they could take these dudes.
No, but that's just what I'm saying. Though.
Yeah,
like, you don't get like I get like the Fantastic Four, but I don't put them on the same scale, I guess, as the Avengers. But I guess they can beat somebody.
I do personally,
but
I'm also I also love the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But I
love a good Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So he hated the movie. What did you think? Sorry, what did you think?
Okay, that's a good way to go out. I thought it met my expectations, which was a movie to get the MCU back on a track that I could see where it was going, and it had a clear direction, and it be fun, not your typical good guys beat the bad guys, and it delivered on every level. I thought everybody that was in that movie was excellent. There was no performance I was like, I don't like this guy. Where I do echo you guys of at some point a little bit Red Guardian not yelling or not sounding like a moron would be great, because David Harbour is just too good, man. He's
he's phenomenal for sure.
And he's playing exactly what they're asking them to. I'm like, he can still do this and be this funny, and you can just back it off just a little. It'll never be as bad as Love and Thunder.
Thank God for that.
I thought honestly it was a great movie. I don't really typically do the top whatever, but I will absolutely watch that again. I'm gonna go again and see it in theaters. I thought it was great.
I am too. It's so I had an analogy for in terms of what this movie has done for the MCU, right? The MCU going forward as a whole. So up until Endgame, the MCU, I mean, they were feeding us at like a Michelin restaurant, right? They were giving us top course meals. Then over the last 3-4 years, the MCU has been feeding us takeout at times, right? We're on board with this so far. I think that Captain America was the appetizer, and Thunderbolts has been the main course, back to eating top tier meals at Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's exactly what Marvel is giving us right now.
I mean, you put it correct, Jack. It's exactly what I thought. It's just a movie. I just like the fact that we got a starting point and we're moving forward with the story that's concurrent.
We finally had something that pushed the dang overall Marvel narrative.
Yeah, we're done with Kang. We're done with the time bullshit. We're done with the madness thing for now. Let's just get it going.
Captain America didn't do that for me as much as I liked. This one felt like a deeper, more lived-in world because every single character touched more than just themselves. So, I don't know. I thought it was great. I definitely wouldn't put it up there with Guardians 3, but it was
I wouldn't put it. It's
damn good movie.
I'd put Thunderbolts at 5 probably in my top 5 non-Avengers.
It's top 3 origin stories: Iron Man, Captain America, and then Thunderbolts.
It's not an origin story though.
This is an origin for a team. It is.
We'll see.
Because they went from trying to kill each other to became a team at the end.
Sure. I still think it was good. I mean, as far as team ups, if you're going team up movies, I put Civil War over that movie.
Oh yeah, no shit.
So it's like, I mean, if you're going to put it in its right category, I would just put it back where it was, man, as non-Avengers narrative pushing movies. I thought it was fantastic. Everybody in it is great. Going to go see it again. Speaking of seeing people again, I'll see you guys next week for episode 191. Till such time, Ryan, Rhino, Nello, love you guys.
Hit us up on Discord. Let us know what you think.
Yes, please hit us up on Discord. Reach out on Facebook. We got the group going, so anytime you have a subject you want us to talk about, hit us up.